What's up, folks? It's John here, helping you train smarter, move more, and improve your life. So today I'm going to walk you through a follow along, simple but intense arm day. So the reason I'm doing a dedicated arm workout is because yesterday I did a push, pull, and legs workout, and later this afternoon I'm going to leave to go on a dive liveaboard for the rest of the week. And so I won't be working out later on, and my arms felt pretty fresh, so I figured I could just do a dedicated arm day, get a good pump, and reap the benefits of some growth and strength development while I'm at sea. But I thought it would be interesting to share this workout with you guys to show you two of the principles that I think are often done poorly in follow along or just sort of cookie cutter routines that you see online. The first is simplicity. Oftentimes we see workouts that might be optimized from, say, a scientific or theoretical perspective, but they are not actually very simple to implement. Lots of bodybuilding and strength routines have you working on multiple variations of exercises to hit every single muscle from every single possible angle. And while in theory this can be very, very effective, and I think that many advanced athletes do use programs like this very, very effectively, the beginner or the intermediate lifter, like you or me, is not going to benefit too much from these. And the reason for that is simple. It's that they're hard to implement and adhere to. The most important thing for getting stronger and building muscle over time is consistency of effort over a long period of time. And so if you're just getting started and you struggle with motivation in order to complete your workouts and to just do your workouts, it's better to choose just a few exercises and actually execute them with intensity than it is to choose 10 or 15 exercises, put yourself in a marathon gym session, and not give everyone the proper attention. What you normally see when you do that is that you do work out every single muscle in your body, but you do it insufficiently to actually stimulate growth because you didn't actually try hard because there was too much to do and too much to keep track of and too many exercises to think about. So instead, today we're going to do 3 exercises, one for the shoulders, one for the triceps, and one for the biceps. And that's it. We're going to complete them for 3 sets, the first of which will be a warm-up, and the second 2 will be proper working sets. So with that in mind, let's get into the workout. The first exercise we're going to do is the lateral raise. And I'm going to be doing this on a 45-degree bench, which is a variation that's not super common, but I really, really like it. The first set we're doing here is going to serve as a warm-up, which serves a couple functions. The first is to just practice the motion and see how, the body parts and the muscles are feeling today. And the second thing we're going to do from it is be able to acquire information about how strong we're feeling today, to be able to guess what load or how much weight we're going to use on the working sets. So for the first set, I'm going to aim for about 12 repetitions, but I want to end long before I feel like a burn in my muscles. So I'm just going to try until it feels like a little bit difficult, but leaving tons and tons of reps in reserve. Again, I want to be clear that it is not so important which exercises you choose. You could do lateral raises standing like this. That's a great exercise. You could do lateral raises with full range of motion, like a Lou raise, like this. That's also a great exercise. You could do Arnold presses. Those are also a great shoulder exercise. But I'm going to do this one because I like it, and it's the one I have in my program right now. And yeah, I find it works really well. But again, exercise selection is not so important. Put in any shoulder exercise you want, but just progress it slowly and rigorously over time and put in maximal effort. That's what we want to do. So I said I was going to aim for 12. I hit 8, but I think that was hard enough. My rep started to slow down a tiny little bit, and I think any more would have made me sort of tired for my working set. So that's another lesson here, is that when you're learning new exercises and you don't have, a training log telling you exactly what you did last week and what you should try to do this week, you just have to guess, and it's just trial and error. And so we use our intuition on these things. And that's why you want to pay attention during your warm-ups and you want to write down what you actually did. So that was maybe like a 5 or like a 6 out of 10 effort. Like it wasn't actually easy, and I've already started sweating a little bit. But yeah, it's a warm-up, right? Cool. So I'm noting this down in my training log that I did 8 reps of 8 kilos on each side. So the next thing we're going to do is our triceps isolation. Again, it doesn't matter which triceps isolation you choose. Today I'm going to do overhead on the hammer bar. Okay. So this exercise could be done with one dumbbell held like so. So you could use one big dumbbell to complete this exercise, or you could use two small dumbbells to complete this exercise, or you could use a barbell. But I'm going to use my parallel grip hammer bar because I have it and it's made exactly for this purpose. Right, so I picked a better weight on that one, and I was able to hit 12 reps. Yeah, I mean, I probably could have gone for like 18 or 20 if I wanted to like go towards failure, but I don't, of course. So I'll write that down in the log. 17 kilos for 12 reps. Yeah, awesome. So next up is a biceps curl. Yeah, I'm just going to do a standing barbell biceps curl. Simple, effective, friggin' classic. And I will say, in terms of feeling, my triceps and my shoulders are now feeling a little bit pumped. They didn't feel so gassed during the exercise, but now they do feel like I'm getting a little bit of lactic acid buildup. So as you move through your training journey, you will learn to sort of get a sense and intuitively know how hard you're training and correlate that to how many reps in reserve. And this is very important for sort of learning intensity, workout intensity. On the next set, I'm going to be aiming to hit 10 repetitions, leaving like 1 to 2 repetitions in reserve. I'm going to guess that I did 17 kilos for 12 reps, and that was pretty easy. I reckon if I did 25 kilograms, yeah, I'll try for 25 kilos, and we'll see what I get. And going back to the shoulder one, that was a little bit harder than I expected. I might be able to do 9.5 kilos for 10 reps. No, that sounds pretty hard. We'll do 9 kilos and aim for 10 reps. Right, so I did 10 reps there. So that was a little bit too hard in terms of getting 12 reps. But again, the body doesn't really notice the difference between 10 repetitions and 12 repetitions. These are just loose guidelines to give you enough reps that you're working your muscles and you're demanding both force output and energy output of them. But the most important thing is getting that intensity right. And because I'm just warming up, I want to save the intensity so that I can try really hard when the weight is actually heavy. So stop to 10. So for those, I think I'll add 5 kilograms to still hit 10, but have it feel pretty darn hard. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Awesome. So warm up is completely done. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm lightly sweating, so I'm going to put the hair up. And so now we'll get into the meat of the workout, the actual working sets. Like I said, I'm going to be aiming to complete about 10 repetitions, but leaving 1 to 2 reps in reserve. And that means it should feel very hard, but I'm not pushing to the absolute limit, and I definitely should not fail a rep on this one. In the third set, we will push to absolute failure. Okay, now we'll get into working set 1 of the lateral raise. The second mistake I see in a lot of online programs and a lot of online tutorials for exercises is they don't get the intensity right. Instead, they put way too much emphasis on exercise selection and the form of those exercises. So they'll make sure to hit the long head of the triceps and the short head of the triceps and be very, very strict on the form that we apply it so that we get maximal tension on those specific muscles. But usually for beginners, when people are trying to implement those exercises for the first time and continue with them over a long period of time, what those tutorials miss is that you actually need to try really hard. Yeah, that's about right. That rep was definitely starting to get slow. Could have done one more. Probably couldn't have done 2 more. And you're going to get way more stimulus and benefit and growth over the long term by starting to learn to try really hard on the exercise, even when it causes you to break form for the last several reps, compared to being a stickler on form and waiting to go heavy until you've mastered the form. The reality is that no matter how many times you practice deadlifting 100 kilograms, it's never going to prepare your body to lift 200 kilograms. you need to actually increase the weight over time and really challenge yourself. I'm not saying that form isn't important, but I don't think it's as important as actually trying really hard. If you try really hard and you listen to your body and stop whenever you feel pain and give your body time to recover, trying that hard with slightly shoddy form is not, in my opinion, a risky thing. Cool. So I'd say that is probably what like RPE maybe 8 looks like. Probably could have definitely got 2 if I like properly cheated and used a little bit of momentum at the bottom. As you'll see, that's exactly what I'm going to do on our final set. Because again, I think adequate intensity is significantly more important than textbook perfect form. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Right, that felt good. All right, triceps. All right, first working set on the triceps. And sort of the function of the first working set is to get some volume in your system. So you're working close to your sort of maximal weight and getting quality repetitions in there where the form is decently good and you're not having to break form because you're not pushing absolutely to the limit. It also gives you further information for the all-out set to failure that we're about to do, the true high-intensity set. Gives you more information on what weight you should be using on that particular day. Yeah, so you can hit the roughly right amount of reps. Yeah, so I'll stop at 9 on that one. I think 10 would have been very limit and a little bit more intense that I want to go on this one. I'll save it for the money set. All right, biceps. So guys, let me know in the comments if you enjoy these types of sort of follow along workouts or workouts where I'm like explaining more of the philosophy and strategy and sort of like the programming and I don't know, coaching insights for why I'm doing a particular workout and how I'm programming it. I hope you guys find this valuable. I think one of my aims with this channel is to make the knowledge required to effectively train for years, for decades, for your whole life. I'm trying to make those more accessible to people. 9's enough. All right, first working set complete. So on the last set, I'm going to aim for 8 repetitions. So I'll be increasing the weight a little bit further in order to hit less repetitions while giving a 100% maximum effort. That means I'm going to go to concentric failure, to where I can't lift it anymore, and then I'm going to do some partial repetitions, and depending on the exercise, I might do a sort of drop set where I'm doing an easier exercise variation, maybe just with eccentrics or well, I'll explain them as I do them. In between these, I'll probably take a slightly longer amount of rest because I'm actually tired. My arms are starting to feel pumped, and it's getting to the point where I'm getting a little bit winded in between the efforts. All right. Yeah, I did 9 kilos for 10 reps on that. So I think we'll try 10 kilos for 8 reps. Yeah. That'll be pretty limited, I reckon. All right. Enough yapping. Let go. I think people get too caught in the mindset of, I need a well-designed program by someone else. I have to run, you know, the starting strength program or the small F program or, you know, some other powerlifting program. I have to run conjugate. All these styles of training are popular because, you know, they work. They're effective styles of training. They're also popular just because like someone else marketed them. And that's the reason you've heard them, is because someone else marketed it to you. But in between all of these styles of training are an infinite way and possibilities to combine the variables of training. Okay, now I'll do negative reps. And the way you will find the thing that is the most effective for you is by trial and error and just learning the general principles that allow you to experiment, learn from that, stay consistent, and auto-regulate over time. Yeah, that's what failure looks like. So I think that was 8, exactly 8 that I got full reps. Learn from that, stay consistent, and auto-regulate over time, over the decades of your training career. So I'm trying to give you guys that knowledge. All right, enough yapping. I'll show you now what a high intensity set looks like. Notice on this one, it will look hard. And by the end of it, my form will not be admirable. It will not be textbook, but my muscles will be working at their maximum capacity, because that is the most important thing we're trying to do in the gym. We're not trying to look good for, a third party who's going to critique our form. That shit doesn't matter at all. How hard you try is what matters. That's what demands that your muscles and your connective tissues grow and get stronger.
Shit.
Yeah, so by far the most effective sets that I've ever done in my life are sets like that, where you actually push it to the fucking limit, right? If you send signals to your body that it is not strong enough for what you're trying to do with it, it's going to listen and it's going to get stronger, provided you take ample rest in between and you eat ample food in between and you sleep well. Provided you do those things, you'll grow. It's pretty much guaranteed. Right, triceps. All right, so this one I'm gonna do a mechanical drop set. When I fail in the overhead variation, I'm gonna drop back and do skull crushers. And a mechanical drop set basically just means that with the same weight, I'll be able to do more reps on an easier variation of basically the same exercise. Okay, c'est parti, let's do it. Oh no, I didn't add the weight to this one. I'm getting so excited, guys, that I forgot. All right, so I did 25 for 9. Yeah, I think 27 is probably good. I think 27 is good. This one's gonna burn. This one's really gonna burn. So just for reference, I weigh about 85 kilos, and I was just doing a shoulder isolation exercise with 10 kilograms. So very low, overall weight compared to like my body weight. And I'm drenched in sweat after that effort, right? Maybe you'll be different. Maybe you have better cooling mechanisms than I do. But training hard feels hard, and it looks hard. And I think that's something that most people actually miss, because they watch exercise form tutorials where the person who is doing them is using less than half of the working weight they would actually use. And so you get this idea that form is perfect and exercises never look hard, and if they look hard, you're using too much weight. This is the opposite of the truth. It should look hard by the end. Bench is too far back. Very elite lifters are able to combine excellent form with really high loads. But in the beginning, I think you just want to focus on trying really, really hard, slowly perfecting your technique over years. Yeah, that was the perfect weight. Got 8 reps, filled very close into the 9th. Excellent, 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 excellent. All right, biceps. I'm gonna go full send and go for 40. After that effort, I'm like quite out of breath and my triceps feel very, very pumped. Oh my gosh. Whew. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, gassed. So I'm gonna take a sip of water. Now I'm gonna hit this last set and we'll see you in the next one. Probably do my final chat with you guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is just a simple but intense arm day. It's very, very simple to program exercises and workouts. Just choose at least one exercise for each muscle group you're trying to work. Commit to that exercise and work up to at least one heavy set where you're hitting it with real intensity. And then rest a couple days until you feel rested enough and not so sore that you could not only complete that workout again, but add an extra rep or add an extra kilogram to it. So progress in some small way. If you continue to do this for years, occasionally switching exercise variations, occasionally trying out new things, of course, but keeping really consistent over time, you'll be shocked at how many gains you can make. I've already gained like 10 kilos of muscle since I started training like 3.5 years ago in my 30s. Okay. It's so easy. You just have to do the work. So subscribe if you want more content like this. I appreciate you guys.